Tune in to the Diva Hustle Show.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Diva Hustle Show. Today, my guest is Allison. She's a fitness coach, a certified nutrition, a personal trainer, a yoga instructor, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Allison, for joining us. How are you?
I am great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So tell me a little bit about your personal journey and what led you to become a certified nutrition and a personal trainer.
Yeah, so it's funny. I always battled my weight growing up as a teenager. I wanted that dream body, and I used to read my dad's muscle and fitness magazines in our unfinished basement, wondering if I could transform my body through diet and nutrition. So went through college, did marathons, triathlons, was always into fitness, played field hockey in high school and college, got married, had 2 kids, and always in the back of my mind, I was like, I really want to try bodybuilding. So in 2012, I did my first figure competition and I got hooked. So I kept competing for a good 10 years, got my pro card. And during that time, around 2016, people were asking me, like, how do you prepare? How do you lose weight to compete? So I always say that my business found me. So that is how I launched Allison Jackson Fitness, where I help high performing women lose weight and get their dream bodies.
Wow. And so what led you, so I know you have a podcast too called Fit to Leave podcast, right?
Yes.
So what made you, what was the main message behind that? What made you want to start?
Yeah, so I launched the podcast in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. And what really led me to it was I wanted to highlight women that were prioritizing their self-care to be at their best for their career, their business, their family, because I think it's really important. I feel like women always put themselves last. So I really wanted to highlight those people and what they were doing with actionable tips that others could take on.
Right. And have you found that a lot of it, like a lot of women just don't know where to start, or they're just overthinking the process sometimes?
Yeah, because I feel like there's so much out there, right? And every day there are new diets. There's the carnivore diet, there's keto, there's the Mediterranean diet. There's just so much. And I think people get completely overwhelmed and try to do everything at one time. That I think it's really important to kind of take a step back and do those baby steps, right? Maybe it's one small change each week and then you build upon it.
Right. And so the reason why I wanted to jump on this topic, like especially because we get ready to go into the holidays and people be like, I gotta stay focused on my diet, because if I eat that one plate of yams or whatever, I'm going to gain 20 pounds. Can you just give your insight on that?
Yeah. That is always the struggle, right? When the holidays come, vacation, weddings, parties. So what I would say is you really want to, on a regular basis, eat 80% whole, unprocessed, healthy foods, and then 20% you're going to have the pizza, the wine, the holidays. And what I would say as you approach the holidays, I know Thanksgiving is coming up. Maybe try to eat a little bit less the day before and the day after. And
Okay.
then, just eat a normal amount of food. Don't eat like the ship is going down or like you're going to the electric chair. Indulge in those things that you enjoy that maybe you don't always get, like the pumpkin pie or the yams. But do it without guilt and really be mindful and focused on what you're eating, and enjoy it. That's all I could say. I feel like there's so much guilt around it, around the holiday eating. But I feel like if you enjoy it and eat in moderation, you'll be
Right.
fine.
So congratulations, you wrote a book and it's called Flab to Fab? Yeah, in 8 weeks, right?
Yes. So what I did was I took my coaching. So I do one-on-one and group coaching, and I really just kind of put it into a book so that if people wanted to have the option to try coaching themselves, that they would have all the tips and tricks and different meal plan options and workouts in one easy to read book.
So what would you say would be one of the key principles that help people transform their health from your
Yeah, so I would definitely say nutrition plays 80 to 90% of the role in transforming your body. So to get started, I always tell folks just track what you're eating, get a baseline. There's lots of free apps. The one that I personally like is my Fitness Pal. Just track your food for a week. You don't have to do it forever, but it'll give you a really good idea of how much food, calories you're eating, as well as the ratio of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So you get a really understanding of, are you eating balanced? Do you have enough fiber? Are you eating too much sugar? It will give you a really good baseline there.
And also, what about like you were saying with the sugars, and even like some people doing the fasting, intermittent fasting. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I get a lot of questions on intermittent fasting. And so really it's your food timing, right? It's not a certain diet. You could be vegetarian, vegan, follow any kind of diet and do intermittent fasting. What I personally love about it, and it doesn't work for everyone, it's really everyone is individual. What I love about it is it gives you an eating window, right? So when you are fasting, you're only drinking water, bone broth, chewing gum, you're not eating. But then you have an eating window of, say, a lot of times people will do like noon to 8 p.m. But you
Right.
want to stay within your calorie goal. It's not like a free for all time that you eat anything. And then again, focus on that 80-20, right? 80% healthy, whole foods, focus on the protein. Most people don't get enough protein. But I think intermittent fasting is just a great way to just feel like more in control of what you're eating and when.
Now, in your industry, fitness and wellness, what do you say some of the challenges has been as a woman entrepreneur?
Yeah, so definitely I think it's prioritizing and time management. So making sure that you carve out that time to dedicate to yourself, to get the workouts in, to meal prep and know what you're going to eat for the week. So I personally love to get it out of the way first thing in the morning because I feel like if you get your workouts in right off the bat, you won't have any excuses. You won't be tired. You'll have it, that's your one great accomplishment for the day is to just get that out of the way. But I always tell women, like, don't get completely overwhelmed, like trying to do everything at once. Nail
Right.
down the timing of your workouts, then focus on maybe get more vegetables. Take those baby steps and you will definitely get there.
And so both being a yoga instructor and a figure competitor, right? So
Yeah.
how does that balance one and the other?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it's funny because I'm starting on my second book, which is going to be from bodybuilder to yogi, because I
Okay.
feel like it's kind of I've done like a 360. So where I was very focused on aesthetics and how I looked, in 2020 when the pandemic hit, I got my yoga teacher certification, and it really turned me inward on how do I feel, like how do I feel about my body, what's the energy I have, and I really think that's so much more important than the aesthetics. The aesthetics are important. Like nobody wants to have their clothing feel tight or not look good in a bathing suit. But I think having energy, having good sleep, having a good mindset, I think that's so critical to just your overall health. So that's kind of it's almost like a juxtaposition, right? Of like the bodybuilding is so like what you look like, and yoga and yogis are so much more about how you feel and what you
Right.
bring to the world.
But I feel like, because I do yoga and everything, but I feel like once you're centered and you're inside, I feel like to me, now I might be wrong, but you lose weight faster that way.
Yes. Yes. Totally. So I'm on this like spiritual journey, and it is about like surrendering and letting go. I feel like we try to control everything, right? Control the calories and control the workouts. And I feel like if, to your point, you're grounded and centered and you trust in yourself, and your body knows what it needs.
Yeah.
And I've been tracking my food for years, and now I'm moving into just being more intuitive and like, am I hungry, or am
Right.
I bored, or eating emotionally? So I think that's a great point that you raise.
Yeah. So what's new for 2024?
What's new for 2024? So this year I am all about focused on book number 2. I'm doing a lot more speaking. So I feel like that is an area where I can engage and educate women on how to focus on themselves, focus on the nutrition and movement, looking at health more holistically. I'm trying to preach about that women. It's I know it was like the no pain no gain was like that mantra of like the 80s and 90s, and I really feel like it doesn't need to be that way. Like weight loss does not need to be painful or a
Yeah.
struggle. I feel like if you again surrender, let it go, trust, it comes off way easier.
And so if you could leave one tip about fitness and like women and like even just getting started, motivation, what would be that tip?
The one tip would be around mindfulness.
Mhm.
I feel like if women could take just a couple minutes to do a little bit of meditation, I know a lot of people feel like, I don't know how to do meditation. I don't know what it's about. It's really just like closing your eyes, breathing, taking a couple deep breaths, getting grounded and centered,
Right.
knowing what you want. I feel like meditation has been a huge game changer. It actually physically changes your brain. So if there's one tip I would say that's going to impact every aspect of your life, including your health, it would be incorporating some form of meditation into your daily routine.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like you said, just meditate and close your eyes and you could just close your eyes and focus on breathing. And, you'll be so relaxed afterwards. Even it's like 5 minutes. I had to start and you see a difference show up in your
Right?
life.
Don't you feel like the way you manage your emotions, the way you deal with stress, all
Yeah.
of that, I feel like meditation is just like the cure all.
Yeah. And then it's like when you start off, like the one teacher told me, start off with 5 minutes. And then at times you be like, all right, my 5 minutes is up. I still want to go longer.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And that's what I tell people that are like, I don't know where to start. Like start with, again, free apps, Headspace, Calm, Insight Timer. Start for 5 minutes. Just start there, even 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just start to get acclimated to it. And like you said, you're going to want to go longer and longer because you're really going to enjoy that stillness and that peace.
And Allison, if people wanted to get in contact with you, what's the best way and get in contact with you, reach you?
Yeah, so you can visit my website. It's AllisonJacksonFitness.com, and you can find me everywhere on social at the handle Allison Jackson Fitness. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the places.
Thanks, Allison, for stopping past. Hopefully, like when you finish the book, let's talk about it, and so we can, just get people getting into that mindfulness and being physical fit.
I would love that.
All right.
Tune in to the Diva Hawks Show. Motivate the glow. We give you more info. Flick to my head to toe. I let the whole world know. I let the whole world know.